All right. Okay. Thanks. Good evening, everyone. Thanks for tuning into our webinar. I'm Sue here, and with me, there's YT to give a context of who we are. So YT is the brainchild behind the amazing technology of Origo Eco, where we can convert agriculture waste and byproduct into compostable materials, right? So for myself, I fell in love with this technology, and with my social impact background and sustainability background, that's why I came along and be a co-founder with Origo Eco, right? So I'm going to run through a little bit of intro about the whole company. Feel free to type in any questions, and you can always connect and PM us directly. I'm based in KL, YT is in Penang. So if you're in KL or Penang, just feel free to DM us and we can all chat over coffee. All right, so let's begin. Oh. Okay, right. So what we're providing over here is an opportunity for Malaysian retail investors to invest in Asia's leading green tech innovator, right? So as we know, the sustainability space in Malaysia is still very new and small, and we're one of the leading ones, especially with our global market presence. That's why it's a very creative and very innovative opportunity for everyone. At the same time, what's most amazing is you get to earn returns while you're doing good for the planet, right? So this is the opportunity that we love to extend to all the retail investors. This is an image of the factory. By the way, we will be sending out the Google form for you to express interest to join our factory tour on 8th of December, which is a Friday next week between 2 p.m. I think it should end about 4-ish. So use this as a trip to probably take a ride down to Penang and have some char kway teow after the tour, right? So you get to see how the production of the rice straws is done, right? So this is in Simpang 4 Juru. So what we are solving over here at Origo Eco, I think the 4 circles over here, you'll be very familiar with 3 of them: minimizing plastic waste, agriculture burning, and eliminating deforestation. These are all the causes to carbon emission and also global warming, right? What I would like to highlight is actually the PFAS. Right, PFAS is the forever chemical, or also named forever chemical, found in all the paper packaging products, most of them actually. So why is it called forever chemical? Is because it doesn't leave your body once ingested. That means whenever you use the paper cups, whenever you use the paper straws, you're actually ingesting this forever chemical and it doesn't get out from your body. As it slowly accumulates in the body, that's when it causes harm to you. Right, so these are the things that we at Origo, we are trying to eliminate bit by bit, step by step, and we're getting all of you to join our journey to also solve this problem together, right? So when we come up with our solutions, we are looking to reduce the human impact on our planet, because we know it is our carbon footprint, it is the traces that we leave behind that causes global warming. And this is how we want to solve it at Origo Eco. So this is an example of agriculture waste. This is rice husk, by the way. So rice husk is usually burnt at the paddy farm itself to be converted into fertilizer. So of course, the burning process again releases CO2 into the air, right? And we have a lot of rice husk. You just look at the figures over here, 400,000 tons of rice husk in Malaysia itself, right? Another agriculture waste and byproduct that we are also having a lot in Malaysia is, of course, our very famous palm oil plantation. This is the empty fruit bunch. So these are some of the agriculture waste and byproduct that we use to convert into our materials. This is because the vision of us is to engineer sustainability into our daily use products. So imagine your cups, your spoons, your straws. Why? Because all these, the ones that are disposable, they contribute to the global warming when we discard. So one way is to make sure they can disappear. How? By making them compostable. Yeah, that's why we work with agriculture waste and byproduct and convert them into 100% compostable materials. So this is the concept that we are implementing, right? You've heard of circular economy, you've heard of zero waste economy, but ours is double. How so? When the production of the harvest, the crops, there will definitely be waste and byproduct. And we use this waste and byproduct to be converted into products. Yeah, our everyday use product, for example, straws, spoons, cups, and everything. And this will then be shipped out to be utilized by our clients. So we then even work with our clients when these products are being used and broken, yeah, it will be converted back into compost soil, which can then be sent back to the farmers to be used as fertilizer for their next batch of harvest, which allows us to tap into the agriculture waste and byproduct one more time. So this is the concept that we implement, because by leaving no traces behind, you know, this waste here, where it goes back to Earth, this is how we can really solve the global warming problem that we are facing. So when we come up with our products, there are four non-negotiable factors that we look into. Number one, it has to be 100% toxic free. So when we claim that it's compostable, it's good as fertilizer, definitely should not contain any toxic, right? You wouldn't want chemicals leaching into the soil, and then we start planting our crops on it and we eat the crops, right? So it has to be 100% toxic free. Number two, it has to be quick composting. Take, for example, bamboo chopsticks is everyone's favorite, right? Cheap, affordable, it's available everywhere. Yeah, and we use it for probably 10 minutes, and yet it takes 5 to 7 years to decompose. So the amount of time that we spend using the product versus the amount of time it takes to disappear from Earth is just not very logical, I would say, right? So for our product, for example, the rice straws, it will decompose buried in the soil less than 30 days. Okay, third one, we will not invent any new materials, or we will not use any materials that will cause deforestation. For example, bamboo, wood. Yes, they decompose, but it still causes deforestation, right? We will only make use of waste and byproduct. And last but not least, it has to be competitive, right? I mean, if I sell to you, I tell you, hey, you should take our straws because it's like super duper good for the earth, super good for your health, and yet it causes 2 ringgit per straw. No one's going to buy it, right? At the end of the day, everyone still looks at the bottom line. So this is something that's very crucial to us. Of course, we can never beat plastic straws or plastic products, but we are very, very close. We're comparable, can sometimes be even cheaper than the next second alternative. Right, so this is the first commercialized product of ours. It's the rice straws. If you have been to Coffee Bean and Tea Leaf anywhere in Malaysia, you would definitely have seen it, the purple one. Yeah, so I would like to highlight this USDA cert over here. A lot of biodegradable packaging companies would have this USDA cert, but they usually hide the percentage. Why? Because as long as your product uses 25% of bio or organic matter, you can already qualify for this cert, right? So if 25% is an organic matter, what's the remaining 75? No one knows, right? But for us, we proudly declare our 100% because our straws are like food. They are actually edible, right? So we will clearly tell you, you want to eat it, it's safe because 100% made from organic matter, okay? So the next one that we're commercializing right now, which is what we're fundraising right now, is world's first pallet solution, okay? This has a very interesting story. We actually helped DHL solve their global warming or carbon emission problem, and that's why we came up with this pallet. It took us about 4 months to do the R&D and to come up with a sample, right? So it's very special because it's wood-free, fumigation-free. So if you're from the import-export or logistic industry, you would know. Whenever you import-export the products, the wooden pallets will have to go through a fumigation process. Okay, but for us, it is free. We don't need, we're exempted from it in a way. Okay, and we don't use any urea formaldehyde, which is a very common chemical used as glue, right? We have our own in-house patent pending glue that is 100% natural, right? And of course, every pallet has a unique identity. How? By having a blockchain traceability technology on it, right? And the most unique feature, it can actually be cheaper than wooden pallet. So it's no longer an excuse for you to say, nah, you know, all these sustainability solutions, they're so costly. No more such excuses because they can be cheaper than the wooden pallet, all right? So a little comparison between the two. This is the compliance that requires fumigation and we are exempted from it. Another thing to note is that you look at how these pallets are like cups where you can nest them. So what benefit it provides is that it saves space. Yeah, whether it's a shipping space or your warehouse space. So take, for example, a 40-footer container can carry and ferry 300 pallets of the wooden one. But with ours, it can ferry 1,400 pieces. So which means even in the logistic cost of it, you have already saved close to 5 times, right? So there are multiple ways to save costs when you use the pallet, right? I would like to highlight this, the blockchain traceability. This will be the part that's interesting. So you might be wondering, so what if it has its own identity? Who would care, right? But a lot of people would care, right? When it comes to the pallets. Number one, the halal industry can never use a used or second-hand pallet because they can never know who have used the pallet. Has it gone to any? Hold on, I think I see some chats. Okay. All right. Oh, sorry. Yeah, it's cute. Okay. So I was saying the halal industry, right? They cannot use the second-hand or the used pallets because they can't trace who have used the pallets, right? But with our traceability, you can just log into the app and you'll be able to see, is this pallet really halal, right? That will have saved a lot of cost for the what do you call the halal industry, which means they don't have to constantly buy brand new pallets. Second one, when you look at all this calculation over here, it is very, very crucial for big MNCs and corporate companies right now. Why? Because they have to report, and also they need to have proof on all the claims that they are, okay, I'm going towards net carbon zero, I'm carbon neutral. Where's your proof? So this is the one, right? That's why this traceability, our Origo Pallet tracking system, is a very, very critical function of part of the pallet. Okay. Oops, here you go. So of course, we are not only stopping at that because like I said, we own the technology to convert waste into compostable materials, which means we can practically make any kind of products, right? So this is the next one that we're going to commercialize as well after our pallet. We have finalized the formulation and recipe for the bento tray and the chopsticks as well, including the ice cream tester spoon, which is my favorite because I love ice cream, right? So to give you an idea of how big the market is, we have received an inquiry from Netherlands where this Japanese bento takeaway what do you call restaurant? Yeah, in Netherlands, they use 5 million pairs of chopstick a month. And that's not even Japan. Yeah, imagine Angmo using chopsticks. That's how big it is, right? If you go to Japan with 120 million population, every person there uses 1 pair of chopstick per day. So that's the kind of market why we are looking into the bento tray and also the chopstick. The market size is huge and massive. Okay. And of course, the next in cups, we'll be receiving a lot of requests and demand. Can you please prepare the cups? You know, why? Because of the PFAS. Now everyone is scrambling around because they finally realize, crap, when I take the hot coffee from the paper cup, I'm actually drinking this chemical. Yes. Yeah. But now only people started to realize because think about it. Paper, how can paper withstand water? We know whenever paper is exposed to water, what happens? Right? But why does the paper cup last when it comes to holding the water? Definitely there's a layer of coating. Right. So now is when most of the consumers start to panic because of the chemical that these researchers have found out, and there have been papers circulating around, right? So of course, even more interestingly, the same material that we use and that we can convert from agricultural waste can be used to replace MDF boards, okay, cement blocks and bricks. So you can imagine next time when you buy a furniture, you no longer have to feel guilty because you're no longer causing deforestation. Your furniture is also made from compostable material, right? Same goes to your green building index. Everyone knows green building index is probably a building that has a lot of solar panels, right? Followed by a lot of natural ventilation. But what if even the construction materials are compostable and they are actually carbon negative? So this is I would say, limitless kind of application to the material and the technology that we have. Oops, okay. Yeah, so you might be wondering, are we the only one? Well, if you ask what our moat is, we own the technology, we own the manufacturing, okay? We also own the brand, right? If you look at this image over here, this picture, a lot of companies out there, they are either marketing / trading companies, which means they will go around shopping for these products, right? So they don't own the facility, so they don't control the formula, they don't control the technology. Another one is there are plenty of bioplastic companies out there. right? And this is the one where I mentioned to you, it is not 100% natural, right? If you can challenge any of these bioplastic companies to eat their straws, they're not going to eat it because it is still polymerized. And of course, there are some of the products, for example, compressed wood pallet, right? Yes, it is made from, for example, sawdust and maybe unwanted wood, but it contains toxin. So that means I cannot convert it back into fertilizer. What are we going to do with it, right? So our mode, again, we own the technology, we own the production facility, we also own the brand, right? So these are the three key things whenever you want to build a business. I think we have a Q&A here. Okay, YT is handling the Q&A. Thanks, YT. Right, so when I mentioned the rice straws we've commercialized since 4 years ago, these are some countries that we're in. We are currently, if you notice, the logos are covering the US market, right? Yeah, because we haven't gone into US, all right? But good news is that we're already talking to one US partner and also Canada partner. So we're looking to have US and also Canada presence by next year. And locally, these are some brands, which I think you guys are pretty familiar with. And the ones below, you might be wondering, okay, since when they use straws, these are actually the interested parties for our pallets. So for our pallets, we have received a letter of interest, LOI, right, from Pallet 2, which is actually a Saudi Arabian company, for 100,000 pieces per month of the pallet. Yeah, that is why we are really going towards it. And not to forget, DHL is our POC partner. And at the same time, we are in talks with K+N, Kernenagel, which is actually a somewhat similar company to DHL, right? They have global presence as well, a direct competitor, I would say. And they're also helping us sell our pallet to their customers because all of them have the demand and the requirement to help their clients meet their ESG goal. Right, so any way they can find to replace any of the products to help them achieve net carbon zero, all these companies would do it. And we are actually here to provide that solution to ease their mind. Because if not, they'll be cracking their head. What am I going to do to help my clients achieve net carbon zero? Right, because at the end of the day, logistic company, as we know, they are actually quite a big pollutant. Right, so they need to find various creative ways to solve this problem. Right. Okay, so a little history, walk down history lane. So NLY, which is a subsidiary of Origo Eco, was established since 2018, right? And because we are in the process of preparing the whole group to go IPO in 3 to 5 years, we established Origo Eco as the holding company, right? And right after that, we actually won, like I shared with you, the pallet solution, because we helped DHL solve their problem. So we were invited to participate in their Fast Forward Challenge. We emerged as the APAC champion. We represented APAC and we went to Spain to pitch to the global market, which this includes all the international clients. Think of Michelin, Pfizer, Saudi Aramco. Yeah, and we emerged as a champion over there as well, because this is a solution that everyone definitely needs. And it's straightforward, simple. As long as you're doing any import-export, you're shipping anything, you will definitely need a pallet, right? Okay, so a little bit about the finance. Currently, if you look into Pitch In campaign page, we are raising money to buy 4 machines, okay? You might be questioning, why only 4, right? 4 machines is a sweet spot to allow us to break even. I've shared with you that we have received an LOI of 100,000 pieces of pallets per month, yeah? Per month, it's not one time or one off. Of course, I'm not jumping into it and straight away buy X number of machines to be able to deliver 100,000 pieces, right? So we take step by step, baby steps. Let's start off with 4, where we can manufacture up to 24,000 pieces of pallets per month, okay? And this solid green ones, the solid orange, this is the revenue from these 4 machines and our existing rice straws, okay? But of course, we're not going to stop at 4, right? Like I said, there's so many clients waiting for our pallets, right? So we have the plan to actually scale up to purchase 30 machines. 30 machines will be able to manufacture 200,000 pieces of pallets per month, right? So with 200,000, of course, I can fulfill the 100,000 and I can still fulfill extra clients from there, right? And the dotted line, okay, the non-solid one is the revenue when we have 30 machines, right? So this is the how much it can scale up, okay? And this is only the first step that we're taking right now to open up the opportunity for everyone to be part of this journey to really tackle climate change. Okay. Okay, right. So this 6 million ringgit that we're raising, whereby we've already closed 1 million ringgit actually. Yeah. 3 million for capex, 2 million for working capital, right? And of course, market expansion. Okay. To give a calculation of what kind of impact you were actually contributing. Yeah, you might be thinking, yeah, this is all talks, but I think it's good to plant some figures in there, right? So when we have the 30 machines and we can manufacture 2.4 million pallets in a year, right? We would be upcycling 43,000 tons of rice husk. That means we will be avoiding 43,000 tons of rice husk to be burned and releasing the CO2, right? And when these pellets are circulating around, we can save up to 800,000 trees, okay? Because we're replacing the wooden pallets, okay? And when these pallets are broken, usually it's broken by the forklift. You know, in their warehouse, there's this forklift and when they ram it into the pallets, and that's how the pallets get broken. So these broken pallets, when let's say they're done with, okay, end of life, they can be converted into 35,000 tons of compost. And this can be used to rejuvenate 2.3 million acres of paddy field. And this amount of paddy fields in Malaysia context, yeah, it actually belongs to 300,000 small-time paddy farmers. So this is the kind of impact that you're going to help contribute not only to the local communities, also to the climate and environment, right? And this is the future roadmap, which I've roughly shared earlier, where we're going to set up the facility in Q1 2024 with 4 machines, right? Of course, in Q2, we're looking to start the sales of it and the POC of the pallets, right? And we're not going to stop over there. Like I shared with you, it can be used for other industries. So we're going to further develop that. And we're looking to buy 30 machines by H1 2025 to really go full force. Of course, if any bigger orders that come earlier, then we'll definitely have to go up towards 30 machine. And it doesn't have to wait till H1 2025. And of course, the O series. We're not going to stop just with the straws. If we can also bring it earlier for the commercialization of the whole series. By the way, the O series is the cups, the bento trays, and the chopsticks, just in case you're not familiar with the naming. Okay, right. A little bit background about all of us. I've roughly mentioned my background in YT. Right, we've also got a very good co-founder with us, who a very seasoned entrepreneur with track record. He's the founder of Inari Amatron Berhad, a public listed company in Malaysia. So he has successfully built the company from scratch, from zero, and brought it to IPO, right, in the Malaysia market. Okay, and of course, with their strong background in manufacturing and engineering, and myself, I'm in charge of the sales, marketing, commercialization, and also very importantly, sustainability. Because at the end of the day, impact is what we look at. Sustainability is the core of the company, right? So this is the some of the founders and co-founders behind the company. Okay, I think I'm done with my presentation.
Okay, okay, probably actually I got asked these questions is how will Origo benefit from carbon credits? Instead of typing out, actually, I would like to share it verbally, okay? Right now, actually, we are by having we are more focusing on the pallet for this carbon credit claiming that actually, or the benefits is pallet actually is using agricultural waste, okay? We are turning agricultural waste into a product, and then we are cut down or avoid the deforestation. I give you a data that actually I have been studied. By burning every 2 tons of agricultural waste, we are generating 1.6 tons of carbon emissions. And at the same time, that actually every 8 pallets that actually we are building, they need to be cut off 1 tree, and 1 tree can convert 1 ton of the carbon emissions by 20 years. Okay. Give an example. If I say we are manufacturing 5 million pieces of the Origo pallet, okay, in the way that actually the total CO2 emissions saving actually is up to 92,000 tons of CO2 emission saving. So if I say we want to convert it into this carbon credit, then which means that actually by manufacturing 5 million pieces of the Origo Pallet, if this carbon credit will be an official so-called trading mechanism for carbon credit, then the company will be easily gaining additional income by having a 92,000 carbon credit. Or even though actually this one actually is still not the final number, it's just an example, because actually we haven't calculated out how much the actual carbon we have been emit, okay, during our manufacturing process. So we need to be make it as a contra. Then we will know that actually what will be the gain that actually we are having. Then that will be a benefit from the carbon credit for Origo Eco for the pallet side. Okay.
We've
How
got two
labor
more questions, Vaiti.
yeah, how labor extensive is your manufacturing? What ratio of local to foreign workers? Okay. To be frank, okay, our current rice straw manufacturing actually is using about 50 operators. Okay. 50 operators actually, out of that actually we are using about 20 foreign workers and then 30 local operators. But for the pallet manufacturing, because actually we haven't started yet while we are doing the ECF, probably we need 2 operators for 2 machines. So in fact, actually we only need 4 operators for 4 machines in actual by running that machines. But in the way that actually I still have others, so probably we will need about 10 operators for each shift, okay? And we are running off 24/7, okay, for the pallet manufacturing also. So whether we want to get the local people or the foreigner people, then it will depend on our operations and so on. I cannot determine right now, but probably it will be half local and foreigner. Please share the number of staff and qualification of your R&D team. Okay. Right now I have 3, including 4 in the R&D team, which is led by me. One of them actually is a master in the food tech, and the other 2 of it actually is one of them actually is a microbe specialist. Okay, the other one actually is a biotech specialist. Yeah, I think that's all. That is the answer. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, no, I think I have not shared. One more thing is that we are not stopping at only one factory over here, right? So how we're going to scale up our impact, okay, is to have factories all around the world where they have agriculture waste and byproduct. So we are able to look at different kinds of agriculture waste and byproduct while uplifting different communities all around the world. So this is how we're looking at scaling up the impact. Also, I would like to share, I think, the LOI of a Pallet 2. Let me just stop my sharing here to pull out the file. So this is a company in Saudi, and the letter of interest is actually for these different kinds of specs and the quantity. So all in all, it's a total of 100,000 pieces per month, right? This is imagine there's so many other companies, right? They are queuing, and that's why when people ask, are you not worried about selling 24,000 pieces of pallets per month? Definitely not, right? The only reason why we're starting with 4 is because we do not want to jump too deep, right? We just hit a sweet spot to break even. So we are able to be able to sell to different clients, whether it's SME, whether it's the global companies or the conglomerates, the really international conglomerates, because the sales cycle is different.
Yeah. On top of that, actually, we are based in Penang, and Penang, another key industry actually is the electronic manufacturing industry. And I would say that 95% of this product from this electronic industry actually is export, which they need a very, very high, they have a very high demands of the pallet. One of our potential client actually is Intel, that actually they are evaluating our pallet to be used as one of their sustainable goal, complying with ESG. We also talking, we have a very interest customer, potential customer actually is a Toray, a Japanese plastic racing companies that actually, what is interesting is they are making a plastic racing, but they want to come into a sustainable solutions as well. So instead of using a plastic pallet or wooden pallet, actually they are more interest to using our Origo pallet, which is a wood-free solutions, okay, that to cater for their plastic racing shipment to all over the world to their client, including Thailand and etc. And we also have an inquiry from PepsiCo, which is all the way from Spain. After we won our award in Spain last April, okay, from DHL Sustainable Award. And at the same time, that actually we also has been approached by Aramco, yeah, Saudi Aramco, that actually is one of the biggest petroleum byproduct as well as a byproduct company in Saudi Arab. We also have been approached by Amcor. Amcor actually is one of the largest food packaging companies. According to what they feedback, they have spent $7 million to buy pallet last year, okay, to fulfill their shipment requirements, okay. So all of these customers actually is a very huge potential customer for us. We also talking to okay, I just recently, okay, I think just few days ago, there's a vaccine company called MSD, okay, that actually come to us to approaching to asking a lot of technical data and so on. Okay, so against MSD is one of the largest vaccines manufacturing companies in the world. Okay, so it very different so-called perspective compared to what we are doing right now for the rice straw, which we are not only providing a plastic replacement solutions, but we also providing industrial solutions to replacing this industrial product, which is become a compulsory or is very interesting for all the potential customer that actually to use our Origo pallet for their international shipment, but at the same time that actually they are able to generate the ESG report from our system by featuring into our pallet.
One more question, YT.
Yes, correct. Yeah. How much lighter is your pallet than wooden? In fact, actually, our pallet actually is not lighter than wooden, but it's quite similar to the wooden pallet. It's about 18 to 20 kg. That is our standard pallet size, okay? If there is any requirement to customize the pallet to be lighter due to they don't need such a big weight load, we can customize for the customer. Or even though actually, if let's say the customer actually required to have a higher weight load, like for example, they instead of a 1 ton or 2 tons, they want to have a 4 tons of weight load. Then we are able to customize to customer according to what they require. But at the same time, that actually we will charge customer on the certain NLE charges, as well as stated of what kind of minimum order quantity that they that we are setting for them, so that actually we can customize the pallet for their usage. Okay, the next question, while your end product are more environmental friendlier, but would it be more environmental in the manufacturing process too? Okay, in the way that actually our process is definitely environmental friendly. Why? Because actually the key, okay, first of all, we don't have wastewater. Okay, in our process, we don't have wastewater. In the way that actually we also, for the pallet product, actually we have a zero waste as well, because whatever that actually left over, either we can reuse or we can turn it into fertilizer. Okay, so it's a zero waste solutions. Okay, but in the way that actually when you come to the energy use, then it will be depends on the infrastructure that actually we are building. We can use a natural gas as a heat source. We can use a solar panel, green energy, okay, or green source of energy to as a heat up. But at the same time, that actually what we are planning is, because actually the process of manufacturing for the pellet actually is a very high heat. We do have a planning that installs certain so-called equipments that actually is able to save the energy and to regenerate the heat into the energy up to 95%. So this is also one of our effort to make sure that actually our manufacturing process actually is greener process.
Basically, we as an impact company, we definitely have to calculate our scope 1, scope 2, and scope 3 contribution when it comes to carbon. So that is definitely part of the requirement, and it will be part of our reporting as we continue to scale up, right? Because
Yes.
when we say we are a green tech company, means the positioning is you have to report all of your carbon emission, and we definitely have to strive to even go towards carbon negative as well. Right, so that is a must. It's not even a question, it's actually a must.
It's a must, because actually, like I mentioned just now, how we claim the carbon credit, that is one of the criteria that definitely we must achieve a carbon negative. If we are just a carbon zero, actually there's just on par. So definitely that actually we need to look into the carbon negative, so that actually we are able to be claim our carbon credit, which is verified by Verra. Okay, by the way, when we're talking about Verra, actually on top of that, actually all the reporting, all the qualifications, we also will be certified by a round table of sustainable biomass, which is RSB, as well as RSPO, because actually this is the two NGO that actually will be certified us to make sure that actually our solutions is sustainable material.
Feel free to follow us on our Instagram, because when I mentioned that we own the brand, that means all our international partners, the countries that we exist, they use our brand, right? They carry our brand over there. So even the marketing content, we will be supplying to all our partners internationally. And how they view the content is actually from our social media, whether it's Instagram, LinkedIn, or Facebook. So feel free. We have a lot of, even our YouTube channel, we have we're working towards technical knowledge kind of content, so that everyone is really aware about all this greenwashing. As we know, greenwashing is very rampant, right? You've seen a lot of straws where they print 100% biodegradable, 100% total friendly, right? How can you tell the difference, right? How can you really tell whether this is truly environmental friendly, right? So this is a part of our KPI as well. How do we educate? How do we spread the awareness so that everyone is really knowledgeable when it comes to that? So this is the kind of content that we create, and we will be circulating. We are actually circulating this to our partners. Now I remember what I want to share. So just to give you an example, I'm going to share our Belgium partner. So Belgium is also, we have a good presence over there. They help us tackle some of the Western Europe market. To give you an idea, give me a minute. Yeah. So if you look at the website, yes, it's in Dutch, right? And the logo is there, all right? Some of the straws, the images are from us. Some have been taken by them to suit the local market and taste, right? And they carry our logo at the bottom, right? So this is the global marketing strategy that we run. So our partners all around the world will actually use this brand. Another one is actually our Japan. So for Japan, we had to discuss to change the logo a little bit to suit the local market, because as we know, Japanese, they're not that easygoing, right? So they are very demanding. Hold on, let me just, are you seeing the Japan one, or still EcoSeepers?
No, it's a Japan one already.
Okay, awesome. Yeah, so you can see it's modified a little bit. So the content, everything also coming from us. We work closely in terms of the material. Of course, this is all in Japanese, right? So we don't do what we don't manufacture for someone else for another brand. So our logo will have to be there. So same goes to even for the pallet. You might think it's just a commodity, or it's probably a very strictly B2B, but again, the branding is crucial because we have the first mover advantage. So which means it comes down to speed, it comes down to brand, and of course, quality plus the pricing. So these are a few things that what we do for the pallet to actually dominate the market and to get the first mover advantage. And that's why we're opening up this opportunity to everyone to be part of this journey.
Okay, yeah. On top of that, actually, when we're talking about each pallet actually comes with a traceability features. Actually, this is one of our marketing strategy as well, because once the customer is using our pallet and they are able to generate the ESG report by using our dedicated software, and at the same time, that actually the loyalty will be there already, because actually when they want to submit this report, it will be good that actually under the same platform, same manufacturer, that actually they can submit to the authority to show that actually what is their effort to convert from wooden pallet to Origo pallet, and then every year, and then there's no point for them to actually use multiple supplier on multiple type of the pallet, and then it's very hard for them to manage the ESG report. So this is one of our marketing strategy as well to get the loyalty customer that actually to use our Origo pallet. Okay, yeah, about the visit, okay, yeah, share. So can you share the visit, and then probably we can share the link, okay, for them to register for the visit.
Hold on now, I've got to dig out the link because it's with Lisa. Which inside. Chiwei, would you have the link? Did Lisa pass to you the link? Okay, let's wait for him to answer. But so it's on Friday.
I haven't got it
Chiwei,
now.
yeah? You
I don't have
got
it on
okay.
email.
All right, no problem. I think we can definitely set it up to you. It's actually on Friday, 8th of December, 2 o'clock. So you can definitely drive. It takes probably about 4 hours from KL if you were to drive to reach Simpang 4. It will take probably about 2 hours to really go through, and
Yeah, for
we'll
that
explain.
actually, for that actually, I suggest to start at 2:30 or 2:45 because every Friday
Okay.
there's a praying
Friday
session,
prayers,
right?
right? Yeah,
Friday prayer sessions. Yeah, okay.
Okay, so it's about 2 hours, and you can view the whole process, how it runs. You can take a look at the team as well, right? And we can always have another round of discussion in our meeting room, actually depending on how many are actually attending, right? So there's one more question on the early bird incentive. So the early bird ones, actually we have fully subscribed, right? The 1 mil I mentioned actually is the early bird who they have subscribed. But do let us know, like, what is your intended amount? We can always bring it back to the board to really discuss, which means it's not more of an early bird, it's more of what kind of amount you're looking at. Always feel free to share, then we'll bring it back to the board to discuss, and we can get back to you.
Yeah, you can direct message me or Miss Su, okay, for the amount that actually you intended to invest. Then we will get the internal board discussions for the offers.
Okay, I'm just going to send the link for social media. It's a good source for you to find what do you call some technical data and information, so that you truly know what all these retailers really print on their packaging. So I would always recommend to go through some of our content to be fully aware and educated. That's our social. That's our Instagram. Let me just find YouTube. For YouTube, it's very easy. You just need to look for us, Origo Eco, right? Feel free to follow. Then we really need more people to be aware, to really learn about it and be more educated, because we know when it comes to sustainability and all these practices, we are easily about 5 to 10 years behind. For example, in European countries, they are already starting to ban bioplastic. But over here, we are still like, okay, bioplastic is a solution. It behaves and it feels like a plastic, right? So we are a bit backward. So it's very crucial that we remain educated. We keep ourselves updated, right? And so we don't fall to any greenwashing scams and all this. I don't know what activities they're doing, because we did receive a comment from a fellow restaurateur who did mention, yeah, Sue, that's true. My straw supplier actually told me, hey, what would you like to print on the wrapper? I can print anything for you, anything. Yeah, you want it to be printed 100% earth friendly, I can do it for you. 100% turtle friendly, marine life friendly, anything. So don't blindly believe whatever that you see on the packaging material or whatnot. Do a little bit more research. Feel free to reach out to me, right? We do programs in schools. I give talks in universities as well. And yeah, always cross-check. So at least we are a bit more aware. Yeah, this is also part of our activity to make sure we spread the awareness. So as an impact company, returns and profits is a must. Yeah, it's non-negotiable. But at the same time, the education, the awareness, and also the impact measurement, the sustainability measurement is also a must. So that's how for you to understand that what an impact company is, which means your return and your sustainability index cannot go separate ways. It's go hand in hand. So feel free to reach out to us. Like I said, I'm in KL, it's in Penang. If any of you, wherever you're based, you want to catch us over coffee, please just let us know.
Okay,
Alright.
thanks everyone for
Thanks,
attending this session.
guys.
Okay, thank you.
Right. Thanks, Chiwei. Bye.